why Christians should not support the Democrat Party. In this video presentation, I will explain why I cannot use my vote to support any member of the Democrat Party, whether it be at a city level, a state level, or at the federal level. Because in order for me to do so, I would have to make major compromises in my own moral convictions. Or said yet another way, the political positions of the Democrat Party are what I believe to be 180 degrees out of alignment with what I believe is pleasing to God. Now, I know that there are Christians that support members of the Democrat Party, but I myself cannot comprehend how they can justify in doing it if they're trying to live a life that pleases God. And as Christians, everything that we say, everything that we do, including our voting, should be brought under the subjection and the will of the Lord Jesus Christ, under the subjection and will of God. I'm mainly speaking of two major issues, but it really goes much deeper than just those two issues. The first issue that I'm speaking of course, is the murdering of innocent babies, which is also known as abortion. And the second major issue that I'm speaking of is the promotion of sexual perversion, which is frequently referred to as homosexuality. On the issue of abortion, they were murdering babies back in the days of Moses at the time of his birth, and again at the birth of the Lord Jesus Christ. The life of an innocent unborn baby should be observed with the utmost love, with wonder, and with amazement, especially by the mother of that child. But instead, abortion treats those babies like throwaway garbage. God is the source of all life, but the enemy of our soul comes but for to steal, to kill, and to destroy. Abortion is the ultimate sacrifice to the God of convenience. On the issue of homosexuality, I simply believe that the Bible teaches us that it is an immoral sin. It does not really matter whether that person was born that way or if it was a life choice that they made. It is simply a sin, and it is a bondage that they must overcome. I hope to provide another lesson a little later on that will be totally dedicated to the scriptures relating to homosexuality. But as Christians, we must show them love and compassion, but at the same time, we must make them aware of the consequences of their actions. And yes, there are consequences. Back to the topic at hand, though. Please do not think that I am pro-Republican and anti-Democrat. In my perfect world, political parties would not even exist, and you would vote for the individual that you prefer. But instead, we as voters are often confronted with choosing between the lesser of two evils, or even worse, the platform of one political party versus the political platform of the other party. I believe the Democrat Party and the liberal attitudes of the media of Hollywood have fed propaganda to the people. That propaganda has convinced them that the things which were considered immoral in the past are to be considered as acceptable today. This propaganda has contributed to the moral decay of our country. My friend, God is not swayed by propaganda. His opinions do not change. If it was a sin at one time, then it is a sin still today. Hebrews 13:8 tells us that Jesus Christ is the same yesterday and today and forever. And then the 9th verse, let's pay close attention to it. It says, "Be not carried away with different and strange doctrines." And I don't know any doctrine that is stranger than sexual perversion being acceptable, that homosexuality is acceptable. It is a strange doctrine. It is confusion. So why do you not hear this type of teaching from the pastor at your church? Well, one reason is because they don't want to offend people. They don't want to run off people. They don't want to upset homosexuals, people that have had abortions and what have you. But that's not the main reason. The main reason why pastors do not condemn the Democrat Party and these issues is due to the Johnson Amendment. The Johnson Amendment made it possible for the IRS to revoke a church's non-exempt tax status if they exercised any bias in politics. As you can clearly see, freedom of speech does not really apply to pastors and churches. So what party do you think created this piece of legislation? The answer, of course, is the Democrat Party. This amendment was proposed in 1954 by then Senator Lyndon Baines Johnson. He later became President of the United States when John F. Kennedy was assassinated. My fellow believers, we are practically living in the land of Sodom and Gomorrah today. But if you literally lived in the land of Sodom and Gomorrah, would you vote for the most liberal political party that was available to you? Or would you vote for a more conservative choice? Once again, would you vote for the most liberal political party that was available to you? Or would you vote for a more conservative choice?